Hi guys, welcome to BirdieMonkey.net. In this tutorial, it's a very basic Photoshop tutorial. So you want to get started with Photoshop. Photoshop allows you to create and edit photos with various tools, allowing for you to have very fine detail and adjustments. And in this tutorial for beginners, I'm going to show you just how to get around Photoshop. So the first thing up here you have is your menu, and all up here are all your menu features. So the first thing that you should do is click on File and then click New, and then here you have some presets. So let's say you wanted to do a flyer, you click on US and you get, or depending on the place you are, and you can select the width, and right now it's in inches, and these are all your values that you get. So you can even change it to centimeters, millimeters, so depending on your region and whatnot. So the default is in inches due to the US. This is the US version, and the width is 8.5 by 11, and that of course is a standard American size paper for the copy paper, the regular plain old paper. And let's say you wanted to do a well, you have different options here, like the photo, and it tells you what the size is, and of course this is in inches as well. And so let's say you wanted to do a mock-up for a website. Those who know what a mock-up is, basically it's just like a rough draft of what the website could look like, and before you even begin to give it to the developers for them to develop the site. And then you got mobile devices, which is basically your Android tablets and whatnot, and of course it's kind of outdated now due to the Retina displays available now. But of course you can always make your own custom one. You go to film and video, and of course you have some NTSC, DV, and some HDTV, and even 4K, so that's good. So let's say for this purpose we want to do something for HDTV, and then it gives you the dimensions, and of course because it's for HDTV it gives you the pixels, and there's a resolution of 72, and this is PPI, so pixels per inch, and you can do pixels per centimeters. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this at it as is and click OK, and of course you can make your own custom size. So I'll just show you real quick. So you File, New, and then you can create your own size. So let's say I wanted to do a little thumbnail or some of that sort. I'll hit 120 by 120, and it even tells you about roughly what the image size will be. And I'm talking about the megabytes and kilobytes. So right there was just kilobytes compared to like 5 megabytes, I think it was for this one or something like that. Alright, so we have this default layer open, and don't be freaked out right now. You're going to try to paint. You can paint, but you won't have this transparency layer, and you probably don't know what that is. So I'll show you what that is. So, and that's pretty much where I'll close this out. So this is just the background layer, and how do you know that? Because right here, if you come in this area right here, it says layers right here in this tab, and you can go to channels and paths. So when you click on layers and you see this little eyedropper thing here, this little indicates layer visibility and a lock, that means this is a background layer, and these are always going to show up. So what you do is you just double click on the lock and then click OK, and then now you can turn it on and turn it off. So it becomes a regular layer. So if you want, let's say you want to add a new layer, for example, this is why you would want to do that. Is let's say I drew this little blue weird picture here, and I want to make a red one, but I don't want to touch this one because I might change my mind, and what if I don't like it? So you come down here, and this is the new layer icon, right? And then we're going to go ahead and click this little swatch thing, and it switches to the above one. So now I have the old blue and the red one in case, and you can switch between them. And of course you can draw that one and draw that one, but I don't want any of those. So let's say I didn't want these two, and you can only go Control Z or Command Z once. So I don't want to do that, and you just go ahead and And in case you don't know what Command and Control are, you go File, or actually Edit, and then Undo. It should be somewhere around here. Right here. Redo Brush, step backward, and there you go. And if you have this little palette here open, there's this thing right here called History. It's better you learn it earlier than later because it's going to save you a lot of time. So everything in this is all your history of everything you've done so far in this thing. Now, depending on what your settings are, you might not have it set so it saves every single thing you do. So just beware that it mostly will do like 25 previous instances, so 25 things that you have done, and moving something in this area is of course gonna do that. So anyway, we have this background layer, layer 0, and then we have this new layer, layer 1, which is blank. So I wanted to draw this red line, and I didn't really show you guys, but this is the brush tool right here. So you just click it and then it's already selected. And how do you know it's selected? Is that you have this little icon up here. So let's say I switch tools to the lasso tool. You have a little lasso up here. So everything that you have selected is in this area here. So the tool selection menu. So I'll go back to the brush, and right now I want to add some to this red, to this blue, right? So let's say I wanted to add a little trace. And of course I'm going kind of slow. Alright, and then let's say I wanted this part to be kind of big. So if you click on this little, next to this little, the brush option, you click on here, and you get all these options, different brushes, different things that you could do, the sizes as well. So that's what this size thing is for. So we increase it, and of course the hardness is how much ink is coming out of your pen or your brush. So we lower it and we increase it. Will give you a difference in how much, and I'll demonstrate that in a little bit. So, and right here is what your brushes are, and of course you have opacity and the flow, which is as well. The flow, it would be better than the hardness to change the amount of ink that's coming out of the pen. Alright, so I have this, and I wanted to put this back here. And of course this has nothing to do with anything, just demonstrate. Alright, so now I have this edited version of the blue, but I wanted to, maybe the red is too overpowering, and I wanted to put the blue right above it, right? I would have to draw it again, and that would be so annoying. But however, in Photoshop, it allows you to do that. So if we go back here to the layers, now you notice layer 1 is above and layer 0 is below. So if we click and drag it right under layer 0, we have this, right? So where did our red layer go? Now I click on layer 0 and you'll notice that we have this white background, right? Notice that the red one has a checker pattern, which means it's transparent. So we click back onto the white one, and so we have layer 0 selected. We hit W on the keyboard, or we can come over here to the lasso tool. No, I'm just kidding. The wizard magic wand tool, right? So we click on the white, and then we hit delete or backspace on the keyboard. And where did our white go? So every white that you want to get rid of, just select it and then delete. Select it and then delete. Now you might have a problem where, for example, I'm in this layer 0. Or let's say I'm in layer 1 and I'm trying to delete. It's not going to delete because you're in the wrong layer. So if you still have some white, and make sure that you have the right layer selected, and you'll have no problems. The other thing is that you might have, for any reason, it doesn't want to do anything. I suggest pressing Control D on the keyboard or Command D, depending if you're on a Mac. And if you don't know what that is, it's deselect. So I think you can go edit and let's see, Control D. Looking for it here somewhere. Basically allows you to deselect whatever is selected, which is what a lot of people usually tend to have. It's causing them problems. let's see, Control G. Here it is, deselect. So you go to select and then deselect. And so if I go to select and deselect, you'll see that this here, this area with the marquee selection will be gone. And there you go. Alright, so back to what we're doing. So I'll go ahead to go to the brush, and you can change the hardness, and I'll show you that. See that? So basically this hardness is what's making that fuzziness. So which is really good. Let's say you're drawing clouds. This is really good. So we go back here, we change it back to white. So go click on this little palette here, and of course you have different colors, and you can add color libraries and swatches, but that's a little bit more advanced there. So we go back to white and start drawing some clouds, and you'll see it's really good for clouds and or making things kind of have this little fuzzy effect. And of course you can put it back up, and now you have this hard brush. Of course you have different types of brushes and actually stencil shapes and whatnot that you can actually draw. So for like the example, this little grass here, I'm just going to change the color to green so you can see it a lot better. And then click, and if you keep holding the click, you can draw this out. Now of course you won't have this animated, it's basically there. But you can see that it does provide shape for you that you can just keep spamming and drawing. You can do this other one, which is more grass-like objects, and you can even do this little leaf thingy. And as you can see, you can populate this entire picture. And this is good for like just really simple stuff. In case you don't feel that you want to spend the time adding these little things or drawing these little like leaves and stuff. And this would be good for like creating some letter stock and paper and whatnot. So that's it on this little tutorial here. Just a quick simple how to get started. And of course all your, like I said, all your tools are on this side. And let's say you just wanted to do some simple shapes, right? So it'll turn these layers off. You click on this little guy right here, and of course if you hover your mouse over it, you will get what the tool is, and you can just look it up. I will have more of these little tutorials coming soon. So you just click on custom tool. You can do just basic tools right here, I mean the basic shapes here, or you can click on this custom shape tool, and then you can click on shapes, and then click here, and then click all, and then you click append, and then there you go, all of your shapes here. And of course you can go online and download more shapes, place them in the right folder, and you got yourself more shapes. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this simple tutorial. Guys and ladies who are getting are new to Photoshop, just keep trying, keep practicing. I'll get more tutorials, never give up, and just have lots of fun. Thanks guys.